don't forget to take your cash from the cash dispensers. From the cash dispenser, from the cash dispenser, from the cash dispenser, from the cash dispenser.
A wet umbrella is open in the tub. It's midnight. A paper airplane leaves his black room, dips in the hall, and then plunges down through the empty stairwell. Everyone is asleep in the house except for this small boy, smiling from the center of his room. He launched something light and fragile that the cat is now attacking downstairs, knocking it back into the air and then up against a wall. There was a dead quiet in the house, and suddenly a white paper airship entered the scene that included even a mother and father who are sleeping. Something made a short pass through their house. The boy knows it wasn't a bird or ghost, but something more lovable to a world of children. Like a charging bull elephant, white air streaming from the corners of its mouth. A whore moves a basin of green antiseptic water away from the towels to a clean white shelf. A Russian sailor rests against the wall, smelling of tobacco. The tall, narrow mirror has little dark flecks within it, like the black sinks of a smoky surgical theater. Seen from the balconies, the whore from above is now below us, in the future, on a table, where two students in white gowns are struggling to open her. The ribs cracking back, the pink gill-like trench follows the thin hairline down the center of her stomach to where the knife shallows on pelvic bone. A student beside us vomits, and his breakfast of warm milk falls slowly to the floor, passing tier after tier of first-year students. The autopsy is over. The charwoman in a yellow bonnet is mopping up. Now the same dead girl is again moving the green water away from the soiled towels. A banker, smelling of jasmine, is dressing himself. The whore straightens her shoulders, this girl who was always bent over herself. Her fingers, which she chews, are hurt by an acid douche. She straightens her shoulders as she stares into a black speck in the mirror so as to forget. She begins singing, also to forget. The banker, stepping into his taxi, is trying to remember if there was a mole on her neck, if this one's name was Claudette. And he is stepping into the taxi. He is drunk and falling into the blackness of it. His shoe flies up into the night, as high as the colored numerals and lights. The door slams shut. The charwoman has finished mopping up. She turns out the lights. You are now alone in the uppermost balcony, looking down for a floor through the darkness. You drop a pencil, waiting to hear it strike the boards. It falls stiff like a drunk falling onto a whore. Oration Half Moon in Vermont. A horse is shivering flies off its ribs, grazing through the stench of a sodden leach field. On the broken stairs of a trailer, a laughing fat girl in a t-shirt is pumping milk from her swollen breasts, cats lapping at the trails. There's a sheen of rhubarb on her dead fingernail. It's a humid morning. Tonight, with the moon washing some stars away, she'll go searching for an old bicycle in the shed. She'll find his father's treasures, jars full of bent nails, a lacquered bass, and a scythe with spiders nesting in the emptiness of the blade and in the bow of its pine shaft. Milling junk in the dark, she'll forget the bicycle, her getaway, and rescue a color photograph of an old matinee idol. Leaving the shed, she'll startle an owl out on the marsh. By November, it will be nailed through the breast to the barn. In a year, the owl will go on a shelf in the shed, where in 30 years there will be a music box containing a lock of hair, her rosaries, her birth certificate, and an impossibly sheer salmon pink scarf. What I want to know of my government is, doesn't poverty just fucking break your heart?